Grey Goose is seeped in style that is born from authenticity. We hope to inspire you to develop your own style because we believe that each one of us is born stylish.
Welcome to Born Stylish. I'm Priya Kataria Puri, and this is your weekly guide into the world of spectacular style. So get ready for an in-depth insight into the extremely high-on style lives of your favorite style icons. Our style theme this week is Dapper Debonair. You know that distinguished elegance of a well-suited gentleman? But if you think the Dapper Debonair male is lost in time, think again. Because my extremely dapper guest this week manages to blend his new age flair with some classic old world charm. He sizzles his way through cultural barriers and wins a million hearts wherever he goes. His inherent style and God-gifted charm makes him dangerously desirable, presenting the natural-born gentleman, the very proper and always perfectly put together Fawad Khan. Welcome to Born Stylish, Fawad. It's such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Well, I remember the last time we met was at the Vogue Beauty Awards, and I have to say I was quite taken aback by your elegance and your gentleman-like charm.
Oh, God.
So do you get that a lot?
Yeah, I guess I put up a nice act.
An act? I must say the act is rather natural.
You do it for so many years, it becomes natural. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I guess it's something that it kind of maybe runs in the family or something, I think.
Oh, so it's genetic.
I think so. I think a lot of guys in the family are very, I wouldn't say really proper, but they're gentlemen.
So tell us, what were you like as a child?
I think as a child I was more vain than I am now.
Really?
So I was.
You were like plastered to the mirror.
Because boys normally when they're growing up, and especially when they're growing up in co-ed schools, they tend to be a little more conscious about the way they look.
Absolutely. So as still a boy, not yet a man, what was the object of your vanity?
I took a great deal of pride in my hair. I had probably the greatest head of hair in probably the class, my family, amongst my friends. I think for the earliest part of my childhood, I was clueless about what haircut to get done and what kind of clothes to wear. And gradually over time, I was made more aware. And I think that owed mostly to the fact that I had mostly women in my family. My eldest sister at that time, I guess, was the first influence when it came to fashion, when it came to music, when it came to film. And that was at the age of 14. She finally she sort of said one day, how can you step out dressing like that?
So she was a good influence, very
she was
good
the
taste.
first. She was the first influence when it came to fashion.
And that was a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Now, you said earlier that the debonair gene runs in your family. So in the Khan household, who was the most dapper of them all?
My father, I remember, has always been a very immaculately dressed man back in, when he was working. While I was growing up, I saw him wear double-breasted jackets. I guess that kind of then sort of sat subconsciously in my mind. But for the longest while, it was dormant. I think I did not understand the concept behind suiting until much later in my life. I met my wife and I met a couple of very good friends and influences in my life who then sort of made me aware with it again. But it is something that comes naturally to me. I'm able to figure out the color combination.
Yeah, they always say that fashion and style is inborn. It's not something that you can buy or learn or acquire. So this is a perfect example.
That's very discouraging for the audience.
Fawad, I'm sure you've watched a lot of Indian films growing up. So have they influenced your style?
As far as style is concerned, no. Because the Bollywood that we were watching when we were growing up, it was that time, when Amitabh Bachchan was doing films like Satya Pe Satta and Anil Kapoor's Mr. India and Jitendra, Rishi Kapoor and all these people. And in the 80s, the film fashion was a bit something that was probably not in line with what I kind of liked particularly.
Not with the gentleman.
Well, for the longest while, they were wearing flared bottom trousers. They would start flaring from the knee down.
Yeah.
So that's not the kind of fashion that I necessarily agreed with. I just never thought that men should wear that. Although in the 70s, this is how suits were. But I guess in Bollywood, it carried into the 80s as well.
Yeah, for almost 10 years, for a decade. Yeah.
It remained there for a very long time. So I don't think it kind of influenced my sense of fashion.
You're definitely not into fads. So how would you define true style?
Reflection of your inner self, that's it.
Well, that's
Be
true.
what you are.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, that's what it should be. I mean, it does not necessarily have to be latest trends. In every case, it does not necessarily have to be what's going on, what kind of haircuts are in, or whether beards are in or out. It should be what you feel comfortable with.
Absolutely.
And that's when it starts looking sexy.
Yeah. I've always felt that the classic style is way sexier than fashion fads. So going down the classic route, what's the first rule of picking out that perfect suit?
I think a suit is obviously always, one should go for that kind of silhouette or cut that suits their body. It would be actually very foolish for a very short and stout man, or at least a very broad person, to be wearing, you know, something that's more European, something that's more petite, something that's meant for thinner and leaner men.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of men actually underestimate the value or the look of the double-breasted suit.
Absolutely.
And that is the kind of body type that double-breasted cuts mainly cater to. For me, for example, I just feel that it completely depends on how much weight I'm carrying. But I feel that the slimmer or the leaner you keep yourself, the more versatile your body becomes to adapting to every kind of suit. So for me, it's all about sticking with the body. But if it's like if I'm carrying more weight, then obviously I will go for something that is slightly baggy and slightly looser.
I hope all you men out there are paying attention. Now, Fawad, I believe you have a serious fetish for pocket squares. Is that true?
That is true.
Really?
I'm guilty as charged.
Okay. So how many do you have in your collection?
I have at least 2 shoe boxes full of pocket squares, yeah.
So what is the fascination with pocket squares?
Interestingly enough, actually, I came across pocket squares 4 years ago. Before that, I had been just wearing normal, just normal pocket squares or trims that just peek out of the pocket. And then there's this very fashionable friend of mine. He's a friend back at home. His name's Asim. And he pointed out to me once, and he's like, yeah, if you're going to wear an open collar shirt, you can put on a jacket on top of that. He's like, you might as well at least put in a pocket square. And it made sense, and that's when I just suddenly started getting into it, and I started looking at it, and then I started going about, and I started, seeing how differently you can put in pocket squares. Although I think the most convenient and the easiest, and I think that looks the most coolest and effortless, is the Guido puff, which is just like a bit of a flower. You just throw it in. It's just, it's
there are many ways
messy.
of wearing them. Have you managed to learn or?
I tend to go on YouTube as well to actually sometimes figure out how you make the different folds. But this is the easiest. This does not require anything. You just 5 seconds, it's just in and you're out.
But it does. I think a pocket square for a guy is almost like what a lipstick does to a woman.
For men, it's like it's the shoes, belts, and pocket square.
That's actually like the holy trinity of the Debonair style.
I think the right kind of combination between a shoe and belt, it should at least be of a certain family.
Okay, that's interesting. So what color belt are you wearing right now? Because you're wearing olive shoes.
Well,
that's nice. So it's matching with the laces, but yes, there is a coordination, I see.
It's supposed to be in the same color family, like I said. I've had such an OCD that if the last minute I've forgotten I've traveled somewhere and I don't carried something with me, I will actually go and buy it at the last minute just to actually go out, probably.
Yeah, but that's nice.
I think it's nice. To a certain degree, I think it's unimportant.
But that's you. You're comfortable doing that, and I think you should be proud of it. That
you definitely should. You definitely should. But for all the people out there, I think this goes without saying that fashion and the way you carry yourself is all about attitude.
Yeah,
it's about how you wear it and how confidently you wear it. You could step out wearing a trash bag.
Yeah.
But if you're wearing it with confidence, then I think it looks cool.
Whether it's style or even life in general, the right attitude is key. So Fawad, when you look back at your journey, what's that one moment that you could call your fly beyond moment?
Every time I work.
Oh, that's nice to know.
Yeah, I'm a man of very few expectations. Work makes me happy, as in I get happy very easily. A lot of other things that probably I'm a bit spoiled when it comes to. So,
like what?
Share with us. Clothes, I guess. Yeah.
Just clothes? No. I'm sure you're spoiled when it comes to much more. All of which we shall dig out after this quick break, only on Born Stylish.
I'm not a very hurky guy. I do not stare, but I admire women.
Welcome back to Born Stylish. We are chatting with the seriously dapper debonair and totally dreamy Fawad Khan. Fawad, so women think you are the sexiest man alive. What do you think?
I think people are going to think I paid you to say that.
No, but this is true. This is
It's
all
not
the
true.
stuff
I think
we've
there are many
seen.
sexy men out there. I'm probably the lowest rung in the ladder.
I don't think so. We've gone through Instagram and Twitter and a lot of social media, and everywhere there's only Fawad Khan. So how does Fawad Khan define sexy?
I find every person to be sexy in their way or the other. And this has got nothing to do with diplomacy. That's the whole magic of actually looking at people from that point of view. So again, it's all about attitude. It's about how you're carrying yourself. And I think all of them, in the old bunch and in the new bunch, carry themselves with that kind of sex appeal.
And that's something you do rather well. Let's now move on to the fun part of the show, the style files. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and all you have to do is really quickly and spontaneously answer them. So are you ready?
Sure.
Bad boy of Khuda Ke Liye or Prince Charming of Khubsurat?
Bad boy khuda ke liye. Yeah, I guess Prince Charming is खूबसूरत.
Which one do you prefer, the beard or the clean-shaven look?
Beard, that's so easy and convenient not to shave.
But you look amazing, even, when you don't
I
have a
could
beard.
completely go Rip Van Winkle.
Okay.
I could probably grow a beard that goes to the floor. That's how lazy I am.
No, we don't want that. That'll be a bit too much. Band gala or patani suit?
Pangala
Your favorite fashion accessory?
is
You
a
have to pick
pocket
one.
square.
Pocket square.
Yeah.
Quite obvious.
Yeah.
If you were not a musician or an actor, what would you have been? Fashion designer?
I would have been a housefly. I would have been
No. We can't
I
see
would-
you as a housefly.
I can completely do that. I swear to God.
I wonder what the missus would say to that. Okay, moving on. The 3 most stylish women in India.
That's Sonam obviously is one of them. I like how Deepika.
Yes,
carries herself.
totally.
Deepika Padukone.
Divalicious.
She really dresses well and very smartly. Third person would be, I guess, Kangana.
Yes.
Because she...
You were bang on,
She
yes.
keeps on trying new things. Which
Yeah,
is like
very
something
experimental.
That's what I think is nice and cool. Is when you are ballsy enough to actually try something, and if it doesn't work, you're like, so who cares?
Yeah, attitude.
That attitude.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
That's great. According to you, who has the worst sense of style in Bollywood? Do you want to skip that answer?
Yeah.
Okay. You wouldn't be caught dead wearing.
There'd not be one.
Okay, there'll be many. Then you should at least give us one.
I'd be
I don't want to
unfair
get
to
you
the
in
other.
trouble. Okay. You wouldn't be caught dead wearing.
Bell bottoms, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boot cuts. I hate boot cuts. That's something that just like sort of irritates me when I see men wearing it.
Okay, the one question you hate answering in interviews.
That definitely have to be. Doesn't your wife get bothered with so much attention that you get?
Oh, God.
That one is.
It's ridiculous and
It's
stay.
happened too many times now. How did she take it? That kind of thing.
Well,
that
she's
kind
an
of
independent, successful fashion designer,
She is a
I've been
designer.
told, yeah. And she must be very proud of you.
I'm very proud of her actually. I think I owe everything to her patience with me.
That's sweet. Okay, so tell us, what do you wear at home when you're just lounging around? We're all very curious. Is it a band gala?
No, not at all.
I'm just pulling your leg.
Yeah, I think shorts and a t-shirt actually.
So you do lounge around in
Lounge,
casuals.
pajamas kind of things, yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
First thing you notice in a woman?
Hands and feet.
Interesting. Mine are all manicured today.
Good for you. I'm not wearing my glasses.
Okay.
So I'm not looking. I'm not staring.
Your sex appeal lies in your...
My sex appeal lies in my voice.
I'm sure all the women out there are going, oh yes, that voice. So tell me, how long do you take to get all dappered up?
Ages.
Really?
I actually hate first getting into the process, getting ready and getting out. It's like breaking your rhythm from one thing and going to another. So it's like I'll probably have a cup of tea. I'll turn on the water, I'll turn on music, and then I'll just sit outside, have a cup of tea.
So you enjoy that whole
So I'm
process.
just like going in and out.
Yeah.
It's more about the fact that, I'm just too distracted with 10 other things.
Your biggest fashion faux pas?
I started matching my tie color and my pocket square.
Okay.
And I do a ditto.
I hope everybody's listening to that.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Totally.
In fact, you should steer away from as much as what it is inside on the outside.
Well, that's an amazing style tip. One style tip for men when they are out on a date.
Don't try too hard to
hard,
impress a
yeah.
girl. Don't try too hard.
Completely agree. Describe your style in 3 words.
Confident, elegant, and I guess classy.
You recently won the Most Beautiful Man award at the Vogue Awards. Who is the most beautiful woman in India according to you?
Okay, this side said there's the vulgar words as well, and I completely stand by it. I'm a very, I wouldn't say really, I'm not a very turkey guy.
So you appreciate beauty?
For some odd reason now, you might just think it's a bit weird and freaky of me. I do not stare, but I admire women.
In general?
Overall, in general. I think I sort of find something or the other.
Attractive.
To
that was a beautiful
at
answer,
least,
by the way.
steal a glance at all kinds of women.
I think that's the reason women find you the sexiest man alive. I
Maybe,
think that is the
yes, yeah.
reason.
I'm a narcissist.
No, not at all, not at all. You spoke from the heart and I loved every bit of it. Time now for another quick break. But before that, I have an exciting contest for all you viewers. Upload a picture of yourself flaunting our Dapper Debonair theme along with our hashtag. And you may just win a gift hamper from Grey Goose Jazz Journeys music CDs. When we come back, Fawad Khan will be sharing his ultimate style secret, after which we take off on a luxurious escapade to Italy, which you do not want to miss. So stay tuned.
The best place to actually start is old black and white films.
Oh, yes.
That's where you'll
Completely.
actually start with the right amount of style. It's the safest, but I'll tell you what, it is the classiest.
Welcome back to Born Stylish, where we are chatting with the Prince of Style, Fawad Khan. So Fawad, you've given us an insight into your Dapper Debonair style. What is that one ultimate style secret that you swear by?
One should actually constantly observe, watch the world over. You actually also have to have an eye for it. But it's not something difficult to catch, that's all I'm trying to say. Is that you should keep on observing, keep on watching.
So look, learn and get inspired. That's the way to do it.
And I think the best place to actually start is old black and white films.
Oh, yes.
That's where you'll
Completely.
actually start with the right amount of style. It's the safest, but I'll tell you what, it is the classiest, I think.
So go watch the classic black and white movies and learn the Debonair style essentials from the experts. Well, thank you so much for coming on Born Stylish. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your style journey with us. All the best for your films and upcoming projects, and we are looking forward to seeing you on the silver screen soon.
Thank you so
for
much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And that was a dishy and dapper Fawad Khan. And now, as promised, we are taking off to visit a luxury brand that possesses all the right fashion ingredients to make the Dapper Debonair cut. The Born Stylish spotlight this week is on one of the biggest names on the international men's style circuit, Ermenegildo Zegna. This Italian luxury house has everything today's sophisticated man needs and more. So if it's the Dapper Debonair style you're craving, this is the place to go. We've traveled to Milan to hear from none other than Anna Zegna of the Ermenegildo Zegna family.
Ermenegildo Zegna started, and it was my grandfather, from producing fabrics with one idea in mind, to do fabrics of the best quality. And from a small textile business, we developed this unbelievable luxury brand. A very welcoming country. Your people have a smile in their face. The first time I landed in India, it felt like coming back home. I love your sense of color, the elegance of the saris, the food. You know how much we love food in Italy, and you have the same. The richness of art and architecture, your past, the spiritual part of India, the beauty of your landscape. We were trying to highlight even more this sense of belonging of Zegna to a wider world. And so one campaign was shot in India. It was an unbelievable adventure. Then we went to Rajasthan and we shot in some of these beautiful residences. It's a country full of contrast. You can have the Himalaya, you go up to Rajasthan, and then you go down to Goa and you find different worlds. So it's as if the gods have come here and they've put all in one big country. There is an iconic Zegna man who is a gentleman who is absolutely international, who has a great sense of style and elegance, who loves personalization, who understands quality, not the showy quality, but the essential quality, really the quality which comes out from the pleasure also of wearing something unique. A man that enjoys life, enjoys beautiful things, and can give himself the time to appreciate them.
And with that, this week's Born Stylish adventure draws to a close. We'll be back next week with yet another High on Style episode. Until then, keep the social media buzzing. Goodbye and stay stylish. First thing you notice in a woman?
Hands and feet.
Interesting. Mine are all manicured today.
Good for you. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm not looking, I'm not staring.